This is going to be a brief video that gets deep into the weeds. We're going to go through a specific example of how to generate B2B leads for your specific niche. Now, in this particular video, we're going to follow 3 specific steps to kind of walk us through this. So let me kind of bring those up. So the first thing, I would call it step 0, is having your niche defined. You may have a couple of different niches that you have specific valuable offers for, but you have to kind of do this as a prerequisite. If you haven't done that, go ahead and take a look at this video that I've linked to above and dive into your niche. Now, once you have that niche selected, you need to be able to find the right companies within your niche and kind of pre-qualify them. Now, this is the most important thing. If you can't do this, then you're not going to be able to offer a lot of value. You're going to be shooting at all kinds of different targets all over the map, and maybe the bullets that you have will never pierce the target. They'll never make it to the target. They might go right through the target and destroy it. Ultimately, you've got to be in the right niche and you have to have the right isolated leads that you're going to focus on. Okay, so let's take a look at an example of how we're going to kind of do this in this case. There are a lot of different ways to do this that we'll go into in other videos. Today, we're going to be using a tool called Public www. If you haven't seen this before, there are companies that literally focus on indexing the content of websites. And you can search on their homepage and their entire website for specific content that's in the source code, not just the content itself. And you can do a search on something like a version of software and get into the weeds on that exact version of software. Really cool for software companies that are looking to work with clients who maybe need to upgrade their software. Or maybe you offer a plugin or a resource that pairs nicely with that software. So for example, we can come in here and we can do something like, I'll just show an example where we're going to look at WordPress and we're going to look for anyone that's on a 5.x version of the software. So here you can see all of these different clients are using different versions of 5.x. So maybe you have a specific version that you might want to target and then offer them to upgrade, for example, due to a security risk. Now that's a pretty obvious focus, so you may have a lot of competition within that, but if you can find a specific niche within that type of focus, you can really get a lot of success. So here in this example, I'm looking at buying groups. Buying groups is, I'm isolating this just by the text on their site. So if you have a very specific business that's a unique industry that you can go after, this can be really helpful for that as well. So now I'm sure that these companies have the phrase buying group in their site. I can then download this list, bring it into a tool like Swordfish. Swordfish is going to give me the emails in bulk for a very low cost for the contacts within this company that I decide that I want to target. In this case, I'm going to be targeting the CEO, co-founder, and I'm also going to be targeting the marketing contacts there. And I'm going to be letting them know, and I'm just going to go back to this game plan. I'm going to be letting them know that we're aware of their pains. We're going to follow the Pain Agitate Solution. We're going to send them a cold email and a LinkedIn outreach. Now, whenever we do this, we want to immediately disrupt them. So we want to kind of talk about something in the subject line especially, and the kind of initial start of the content that's really going to get their attention. Now, if you're interested in a very detailed walkthrough of different email types and strategies, please feel free to tune in to this channel and take a look at our videos that go over that. We'll also provide a link above so you can dig into one of them directly. Okay, now with that said, you want to disrupt them, and ideally, if you have the bandwidth, even be very specific to them, depending on how isolated you want your target to be. So you may say something about their business, something interesting, or just something generic like, we are in the buying group space, and we notice that you guys have done a great job with building out in this buying group space for insert here industry that you focus on. We work with a lot of buying groups, and we know that this is a really underserved space. And we've provided a lot of complementary resources that we would welcome you to take a look at. A lot of our clients work within the buying group space and don't know about some of the different software capabilities that are out there that will help them automate and create self-service for their end users. This can create a huge investment challenge that causes them to really overspend and get lower results than their competitors. We've provided a detailed checklist and guide for businesses in the buying group space that you can download so you can kind of track with best practices in the industry as you grow and make sure you're at least obtaining those best practices as you build your business. Now, this is kind of getting long-winded, but you get the idea. You're trying to formulate something that is kind of a pain. You can kind of talk about the agitate whenever you get into, you're going to fall behind your competitors if you don't do something about it. And then ultimately the solution. We've got these complementary resources. And whenever we're providing these resources or the offer that you're going to deliver to them, we really want it to be something that matches their level of commitment. If I'm sending them a cold email, I'm not going to expect them to want to schedule time to talk to me right away. I want to get in front of them and start dripping with really valuable information. Believe me, if they're clicking on anything in your email or replying, they are very seriously interested. And now we can go ahead and escalate them in this kind of funnel, move them along in the funnel and help follow up with them really well. So now what I like to do within these emails that I send is I like to go ahead and set up a retargeting capability and use a tool like Leadfeeder. So whenever they go to a link in the footer or any kind of resources that I provide, that goes to a specific landing page or a page with a specific query string that I can track. So this is going to allow me to retarget them specifically based on this campaign and do a following of them around the internet with retargeting. I can also use Leadfeeder so that whenever they go to any of the links, I can very easily see if it's a business and the IP address they're visiting from matches up to their business. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I can get about 10 to 20% of the visits tied to a specific business. Well, I know all of the businesses that I emailed. So if they're clicking on something, I can track that. And of course, I have my email tracking capability as well. So you kind of have to weigh how you're going to set up all of the link tracking within the email so that you're not throwing off spam filters. But the point is, we can set specific links and then track who's clicking on them. And now I've got this list of, in this case, it's a couple thousand companies. I've then kind of filtered that down using technographic and firmographic data. And if you're interested in seeing more detail, we actually have a video where we go into detail. We have a complimentary Excel file. It's a Google Sheets that we provide just as an example of a tool that calls out to APIs. You can just paste in the company name and the URL, and it will literally give you back, all kinds of detail about the company itself for free. And of course, you can use paid firmographic and technographic companies to upload a list and enrich that list with revenue, number of employees, NAICS and SIC code, all of that. So then you could kind of take a bigger list like this, narrow it down, get just the cream of the crop, and then get their email and, if you want, their phone number as well. So ultimately what I'm doing with this list is then I am getting in touch with them and I'm providing this very compelling offer based on this specific Pain Agitate solution that I'm putting out there. This works extremely well. There's a saying in sales that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. And a lot of times it's all about getting in there and going through the numbers. And if you're isolating to your niche, you're really providing a very disruptive kind of, in a healthy way, email, and you're then providing a solution. I mean, most of these folks are extremely busy. They're trying to operate their business and you're providing extreme immediate value. They're going to click on the links that you put in or they're going to hit reply, and you're going to get additional business if you take the action. This is a very specific set of steps that you can actually take today. I want to ask you, are you willing to go ahead and plan out how you can take these steps in this video and apply it to your business? And if you are, I would love to see a comment from you saying, this is what I'm going to do, or yes, I'm going to do this. And I would also love to see if you have any questions or you would like more specific examples to kind of go into the weeds on any of the areas of this video that I didn't provide enough detail here for you to execute on. Very happy to get you that information. And just in closing, I just want to leave you with the fact that someone in your space has to be successful. Why not you? Why not you being the massive success? All that stands between you and success is going through this process of agitating this pain for your potential clients and then providing them with a solution. You can do it. Keep going. I've done it and literally made tens of millions of dollars using this exact approach. There is no excuse. With that said, if you like this video, please feel free to decorate that like button with a lot of smashing. We also would love it if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, if you would go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.